There are 7 things a rare kind of mind does when nobody is watching. And if even 3 of them describe you, psychologists say you belong to a personality type most people will never fully understand. Not because it's flashy, because it's built entirely out of view. This isn't about being gifted or being the loudest person in the room. It's about a private wiring that almost never performs for an audience. One that runs quietly in the background while everyone else is busy being seen, busy proving something to somebody who probably wasn't even paying attention in the first place. Most people assume a rare mind looks like confidence, charisma, the person who dominates every conversation and walks out of every room remembered. But the truth is less glamorous and far stranger. The traits that actually separate a rare personality from an ordinary one rarely show up when someone is watching. They surface in the empty apartment, the long drive with the radio off, the silence after everyone else has gone to sleep, and there's nothing left to perform for. So if you've ever wondered whether something about you runs differently underneath the version other people get to see, these 7 private habits are where the answer hides. Stay until the 7th. It reframes everything before it. Number 1. You interrogate your own first reaction instead of trusting it. Most brains treat a gut feeling like a verdict, final, comfortable, closed. But a rarer kind of mind treats that same gut feeling as a suspect worth cross-examining. Alone, with nobody to perform certainty for, you catch yourself asking why you actually believe what you just believed. Whether the reason would survive daylight, or whether you just reached for it because it was the fastest way to feel settled. This habit has a name in psychology, reflective judgment, and it's one of the clearest markers separating impulsive thinking from genuinely independent thinking. It doesn't feel dramatic from the inside. It just feels like refusing to lie to yourself, over and over, in moments nobody will ever know happened. Everyone else settles for the first explanation. They just move on. But you don't. You do the harder, less rewarding work, cross-examining your own mind before you let it make a decision for you. Number 2, you replay conversations that already ended. Not out of anxiety, out of revision. Everyone replays awkward moments, but most people replay them to relive the embarrassment. You replay them to rebuild the exchange better, sharper, closer to what you actually meant to say the first time. Psychologists studying self-distancing describe this as stepping outside your own experience to examine it like an observer, instead of drowning in it as the participant. It looks like overthinking from the outside, the kind of thing people gently tell you to let go of. From the inside, it's editing, and editing is not the same thing as suffering. Here's a quick gut check before we go further. If you've caught yourself doing even one of these 2 so far, stay close. The next one is where most people start to recognize themselves without wanting to admit it. Number 3, you can hold 2 opposing beliefs without needing to collapse them into one. Most minds treat contradiction like an emergency, something to resolve immediately so the discomfort stops. A rarer mind can sit inside that tension without flinching, believing something is both true and troubling at the same time, without forcing a tidy conclusion just to feel settled again. Researchers call this integrative complexity, and it consistently shows up in people capable of nuanced, high-level reasoning under pressure. The ones who don't panic when a situation refuses to be simple. It's uncomfortable by design, and it should be, because certainty was never supposed to come this easily. While the world rewards people who pick a side fast and defend it loudly, you're quietly building a mind that can survive being unresolved for weeks, sometimes years. Number 4, you rewrite the meaning of your own memories without changing the facts. The event stays exactly the same. What it meant to you doesn't. Something that felt like failure at 20 can quietly become the reason everything else worked out by 30. And you notice this shift happening in real time, alone, usually somewhere mundane. A commute, a sink full of dishes, the quiet 10 minutes before you fall asleep. Psychologists call this autobiographical reasoning, the ability to keep reorganizing your own story as you gain new context, instead of leaving old memories frozen exactly where they happened. It's not nostalgia, it's your mind treating your own history as unfinished material, a draft that keeps getting quietly revised without anyone else ever reading the new version. If you've experienced this specific shift, A memory changing its meaning without changing its facts? Drop it in the comments. It's rarer than you think, and I want to know exactly how it showed up for you. Number 5. You get obsessed with things that offer you nothing practical at all. No exam depends on it. No promotion follows it. No one is impressed when you bring it up at dinner, and you pursue it anyway, for hours. Whether that's the physics of tidal locking, the history of a currency that stopped existing centuries ago, or the migration pattern of a bird you'll never see in person. This kind of curiosity has a name too: intrinsic motivation. And it's one of the most consistent traits found in people who go on to produce original, boundary-pushing work later in life. The people who eventually change how something is understood almost always start here, chasing something with zero payoff, purely because their mind refused to stop asking why. Number 6. You can interrupt your own thought mid-sentence and correct it without protecting your ego. Most people would rather finish being wrong than admit it halfway through. A rarer mind does the opposite, catching the mistake in real time, even silently, even with no one there to witness the correction, and simply pivoting without needing to save face from a version of yourself that existed 4 seconds earlier. This is what researchers describe as intellectual humility, and it rarely gets taught anywhere. Not in school, not at work, because institutions reward consistency far more than they reward being right in the end. So if you do this naturally, in private, it means you built that discipline yourself, with nobody grading you for it. We're almost at the one that ties everything together. If you've made it this far, you already know how many of these apply to you. Keep counting. Number 7. And this is the one that changes how you should read everything that came before it. You experience your own mind as company, not as something to escape the moment it gets quiet. Silence doesn't feel like absence to you. It feels like a room you actually want to be in, one you'd choose over most conversations if you're being honest. Psychologists researching solitude describe this as a form of autonomous engagement, and the people who experience it consistently show stronger emotional regulation and a sharper sense of who they actually are underneath other people's opinions of them. Because once your own thoughts are enough, you stop needing constant noise to feel like something is happening in your life. You stop mistaking distraction for peace. Here's what nobody tells you about these 7 traits. None of them make you better than anyone else. What they do is make you legible to yourself, turning the strange, private habits you assumed were just quirks, just overthinking, just being weird, into evidence. Evidence that your mind has been working this entire time, even in the moments that looked like nothing was happening at all. This kind of personality doesn't perform in public because it was never built for an audience in the first place. It was built in the kitchen at midnight, on the walk you took by yourself with your phone left at home, inside the argument you were brave enough to have with your own belief when nobody was there to referee it. So how many of these 7 traits do you actually have? If it's more than 3, welcome to the rare few. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern, and patterns like this deserve to be said out loud. Tell me your number in the comments. And if this is the kind of thing your mind quietly craves, subscribe, because there's a lot more of this waiting for you.